Welcome to Power Skills with Janna, where we dive into the essential tools that you need to thrive as a leader and in life. I'm your host, Janna Jones, a leadership development specialist, coach, and mentor, here to help you unlock your full potential. In today's episode, we are tackling a topic that everyone at some point must face, and perhaps the only constant in life: change. Whether it's a career shift, a major life transition, or simply adapting to a new team dynamic, change can be unsettling, but it's also inevitable and necessary for growth. So, how can you navigate change with confidence and resilience instead of feeling overwhelmed? We'll explore strategies for managing change, cultivating adaptability, and staying grounded in uncertain times. Whether you're a leader guiding your team through a transition or an individual facing personal change, these tools can help you to move forward with clarity and with courage. Let's get started. Change may be life's constant, but it often feels difficult because it pushes us outside of our comfort zone. Our brains are wired to seek stability and predictability. So when something shifts, it can easily trigger an amygdala response with feelings of fear and anxiety or resistance. You may feel like you're losing control, and that's a very common reaction. However, while change can be uncomfortable, it's also a necessary part of personal growth, innovation, and success. Let's consider a few reasons why embracing change is so important. Firstly, for growth and learning, because without change, we stagnate. It's tough, and it's through new experiences and challenges that we learn and grow and develop new skills. If you think back to your biggest achievements, many of them were likely tied to moments of transition or change, although you may not have realized it at the time. Change presents opportunities for innovation because it drives creativity, and it may offer us a different lens in which improvement and innovation can thrive. Whether in business or in life, it can force us to rethink our old approaches, break habits, perhaps even to find better solutions and new ways of doing things. Adaptability really is a superpower. Honestly, the ability to navigate change smoothly is one of the most valuable traits that you can develop. Leaders and individuals who are adaptable will thrive in dynamic environments, and they are also better equipped to handle unexpected challenges. Understanding that change is essential for growth is the first step to navigating it with a more positive mindset. But how do we move through it without feeling completely overwhelmed? Before we get into the practical side of navigating change, it's important to acknowledge the emotional journey that often comes with it. Understanding these emotional stages can help you to normalize the feelings that you experience during transition. We often start with denial, and doesn't everything start here? When change first happens, it's common to resist or deny it. You might feel like the change isn't necessary or that things were just fine the way they were. Resistance then creeps in. As the reality of the change sets in, resistance can quickly follow. This stage often involves feelings of frustration, fear, or anxiety about the uncertainty that now lies ahead. Exploration, because after that initial resistance, hopefully you are supported with clear communication and start asking questions, exploring new possibilities that come with the change. Curiosity replaces fear and resistance as you look for new ways to adapt. And then finally, there's acceptance. As you start to come to terms with the new reality and begin to integrate it into your life or your leadership approach, this stage is where you'll feel most empowered to take ownership of what you can control in order to move forward. Understanding that these stages are completely normal can help you to be more compassionate, not just with yourself, but also for those around you who are going through a transition. Now, let's talk about the strategies that you can start to use to navigate the transition through these stages more smoothly. Because change management isn't just about reacting to new circumstances, it's about positively managing the process to reduce stress and to stay focused on the opportunities that arise. You may like to consider a few strategies that you can use to navigate change more successfully, perhaps starting with a mindset shift and embracing change as an opportunity. One of the most important steps in managing change is reframing it. Instead of seeing change as a negative or something to fear, try to view it as an opportunity. You might instead ask yourself something along the lines of, what new skills or insights can I gain from this experience, or how can I grow? Mindset shifts, of course, take time, but the more you practice viewing the change as a catalyst for growth, the easier it will be to adapt when things do shift. Focus on what you can control. When faced with change, it is so easy to get overwhelmed by the things that are outside of our control. Instead, try to shift your focus onto what you can control, what you think, feel, say, and what action you take. Remember, your attitude, your actions, and your approach can be very visible to others around you and therefore may play a significant part in how others respond to the change as well. For example, if your company is undergoing a restructure, you may not be able to control the decisions that are being made, but you can control how you prepare, how you respond, and how you support your team's felt experience throughout. Build resilience through self-care. Resilience is your ability to bounce back from setbacks, and it's a crucial skill during times of change. To build resilience, it's important to prioritize self-care, both physically and mentally, making time for activities that replenish your energy, whether that's exercise, mindfulness, spending time in nature, taking your dog for a walk, connecting with supporting friends and family. Taking care of yourself gives you the emotional and the physical strength to face challenges with a clearer perspective. Communicate openly and honestly. If you're in a leadership position, one of the most important aspects of navigating change is communication. People often fear change because they don't know what's coming. So being transparent about what's happening, why it's happening, and how it will affect your team may be key. If you're an individual facing personal change, communicating your concerns or your feelings without blame to those who can offer support can be incredibly helpful. Change is much easier to navigate when we feel like we've been heard and understood. Stay agile. Being willing to adapt is so important. The ability to pivot and adapt quickly is the key to navigating effective change. Sometimes the original plan won't work out, and that's okay. Being flexible enough to adjust your approach may be just what's needed. Think of change as a journey without a destination, or where the destination might shift before you actually get there. So instead of being fixated on one specific outcome, embracing a mindset of exploration and being open to new possibilities can help you to navigate it most effectively. And seek support because you don't have to do it alone. Change can feel incredibly isolating at times, but it doesn't have to be. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, friend, or colleague, seek out people who can support you through the transition. Talking things out can provide clarity. It can help you gain new perspectives on the situation. And leaders, don't forget that your team is your support system too. By fostering a culture of open communication and collaboration, you can create a network of support and connection within your own organization. Leaders, of course, play an essential role in helping others to navigate change, especially in a workplace setting. So I wanted to take the time to consider some additional opportunities for leadership through these periods of transition. Because leaders should be a role model for adaptability. People will look to their leaders for cues on how to behave. If you remain calm, adaptable, and solution-focused, your team is more likely to follow suit. Show that you're embracing the change, even if it's difficult, and they will too. Create a vision for the future. One of the best ways to ease anxiety during times of change is to provide a clear vision of what's next. When people know what they're working towards, they are more likely to be motivated to adapt to the changes that are needed to get there. Communicate not just the what and how, also the why behind the changes. When people understand the reason for the transition, they are much more likely to buy into it. Celebrate the small wins. Change can be a long and challenging process at times, so it's important to celebrate progress along the way rather than just the destination. Acknowledging small wins can boost morale. It also reminds people that they're making headway, even if the final goal is still off in the distance. And provide emotional support because change can be emotional. And it's important to recognize the feelings of your team members they might be experiencing in quite a different way to you. Be empathetic, provide space for them to express their concerns, and offer emotional support where needed. You may also need to know your limitations here as well, because sometimes your people can have other challenges for which this change is really highlighting or exacerbating for them. Where the emotional support they may need is beyond your skill set or perhaps even the workplace itself, please consider asking them if they have or may value additional support. Many organizations have an external provider or an employee assistance program that you can connect them with, but start by seeking further advice or guidance through your human resource professional. Finally, let's talk about uncertainty, because one of the most challenging aspects of navigating change is the unknown. We really like to know what's coming next, but during transitions, this is often not possible. So instead of fearing the unknown, by becoming aware of it, we can try to start embracing it. Uncertainty doesn't have to be scary. It can be exciting. It's where growth happens, and it's where new opportunities arise. We live in such uncertain times, but we can thrive by staying curious. So instead of fearing the unknown, approaching it with curiosity. What can you learn from this moment? What opportunities might arise? Letting go of perfection. I need to hear this one a lot. In terms of change, things will rarely go according to plan, and that's okay. Being willing to experiment, to make mistakes, and to pivot as necessary can be key. Trust the process and yourself. Even if you don't know what's coming next, trust that you have the skills and resilience to navigate whatever comes your way. Change is inevitable, but how you respond to it is completely within your control. By shifting your mindset, focusing on what you can control, building resilience, and staying agile, you can navigate even the most challenging transitions with confidence and grace. Whether you're facing a personal challenge or leading a team through a transition, remember that change is an opportunity for growth and innovation. Embrace it and you'll come out stronger on the other side. But don't forget to ask for help where you need it, because you also don't have to go it alone. Thank you so much for tuning into Power Skills with Janna. If you have found today's episode helpful, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps other leaders to find the show and to join our community. I would love to hear your thoughts on navigating change. Connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn via Power Skills Development. Or if you're ready to take your leadership or your personal development to the next level, please visit www.powerskillsdevelopment.com for more resources and to learn about working with me directly. Until next time, stay empowered and keep moving forward, no matter what changes come your way.